Hello everybody out there in YouTube land. We are having another Getting Lost Adventure. And here today we are just going to walk around, and as we are walking around I'll just explain some stuff to you about history, about the location, and let's see how it goes. Doesn't that sound interesting? So we'll start off first of all at this place here, which is Keppel Road. In the past, before the British came, this place here, this road didn't exist. It was just all mangrove swamp. Can you imagine that? Yes, it used to look like this, swampy, green, and with water, sea water, all along here. Also, or mostly around Southeast Asia too. But now, in modern day Singapore, what we have is a road and a highway on top of us, right beside an old building. This old building at the moment is now being renovated, and underneath it, they're actually building a MRT station and MRT line. In the future, this will be the site of the future Cantonment MRT station. But in the past, this place was the Tanjong Pagar railway station, and it was the southernmost terminal of the Malaysian railway network. And here in the past, you could take a train from Singapore, travel all the way through Peninsular Malaysia, right up to the border of Malaysia and Thailand. But at the moment, this railway station has been closed. It has been closed since 2011. And the reason why this railway station is here is because right beside here is actually a port. Or in the past, when the British came to this area here, they noticed the waters around this area here was deep enough for them to have a deep harbor for the ships to have to dock here. So because of that, and even to this day, this place is still used as a port or harbor, and ships do come in here. So what happens was, in the past, what they did was they built a port here, and ships from Britain used to come here, dock here, unload their goods. The goods were transferred onto the train, and the train would distribute the goods to Malaysia. And then while they are in Malaysia, they will pick up resources like tin, rubber, and then bring the resources back here to Singapore, and then they were loaded onto the ships and then transported back to England to make into goods again. So this was a very important hub in the past, for an important resource hub. So to do that, what they needed to do was they needed to create roads. And so this road here, Keppel Road, is created, reclaimed from the sea. The land was reclaimed and made into this road. And even the port itself, as you can see, in this present day, is still being used as a port. What happens now? We are going to head further up the road. I'm going to bring you to a place where in the past, according to journals from sailors, like records from sailors which came before the British came to Singapore, in up ahead there used to be a place where sailors used to come. The location was actually on top of a hill facing the sea, and they would come here. It's some kind of an old altar or a tomb where they came to offer, to give offerings to the tomb. And it is said that if you do that, you will have good luck on your journey or trip. So lots of sailors used to stop in front of the hill to give offerings to the altar, and it is somewhere up ahead. And as we are walking now, you are reaching the end of Keppel Road and the start of Shenton Way. And we're going to continue walking along Shenton Way, and let's see what we can find interesting. Where actually right in front of us now is actually the future site of the Prince Edward MRT station. So we'll be heading this road here. You see in front of us is actually Shenton Way. And if we keep walking further along, walking past the construction site, you'll notice there's actually a temple. This temple is actually the Hock Teck Si Temple, and this is one of the earliest Chinese temples in Singapore. It is said to have been built in 1844, and it used to face the sea. And if we keep walking along, this road is Shenton Way. So this is where they're building the new MRT station, the Prince Albert station. And right behind there, you can see there's actually a mosque. And so behind this mosque, somewhere behind here, is the location where I mentioned earlier about the altar or tomb that sailors used to come to give offerings for safe passage and good luck. So somewhere behind this mosque is where the tomb or altar is. And that place in the past used to be just an altar or tomb on top of a hill overlooking the sea, and everything before that used just to be the sea. But you see now the highway. Then here is the bus terminal or bus depot, and another important building is this reddish building here, which is actually the MAS building, or the Monetary Authority of Singapore. This is actually the Singapore Central Bank and the financial regulator of Singapore. So if you do work in the financial industry, dabble in shares and stocks and stuff like that, this will be an interesting building for you. And then across from the building, there's an empty plot of land, and after that is the Marina Bay fire station and police post. And also this building here is called the AXA Tower, or in the past it used to be called the Temasek Tower. And after you cross the road, you will come to this building here, which is actually the Singapore Chinese Orchestra building. So the Singapore Chinese Orchestra plays here. If you like orchestra music using Chinese instruments, this is a place for you to come, because they have concerts year round. So look out for their program if you're interested in such music. So there are lots of more residential and retail options now available along Shenton Way. But an interesting building along here is opposite, which is called the OUE Downtown. And this place in the past used to be called DBS Building Tower. And this is Tower 1, which they refurbished and they renovated. And then there's Tower 2 on the other side. So Tower 1 in the past used to be one of Singapore's oldest skyscrapers. It was built in 1975. And this place used to be the headquarters of DBS Bank. A very interesting story or folktale or rumor that happened about this building is that in the past, this building, like I said, was owned by DBS Bank, but they actually sold the building in 2005 to another company called Goldman. So Goldman bought it in 2005 and later sold it to OUE in 2010. So they held it for 5 years. But when they sold it to OUE, they actually made a profit of $180 million. Yes. So if DBS held the building longer, they could have for 5 years longer. And being a bank, they could have easily done that. They could have made much more money from the sale of the building. Anyway, if you actually head down that direction, you will actually reach Amoy Street Food Center. There's a few streets down that way, but we're going to head further up. And when we head further up, we'll reach to another food center, which is the Lau Pa Sat Food Center. And at night time, evening time, they will actually close up this road here, and they will open up street side stores that will sell satay, which is skewered meats barbecued over charcoal. And this empty plot of land here, beside here, which is now being surrounded by tall buildings, that location used to be the previous site of where Lau Pa Sat used to be. So your Lau Pa Sat used to face the sea and used to be at that location. But because they were building like MRT station, MRT tracks, so they had to move Lau Pa Sat away from that location, and they actually built it over here. And I guess that brings us to the end at the moment of our adventure here along Shenton Way. We are not finished. We're still going to continue further down, but we'll stop here for this portion. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a few things. Like, share, and subscribe as per usual. Click the bell icon for the latest notification. And of course, the most important thing, join me for my next adventure. I will see you there. Or then next time. Whatever it is. Bye bye.